Yo, what up, YouTube? It's Richawd back with another video. Now, many are saying nowadays with everything going on, you're better off just being by yourself. You're better off living a loner lifestyle. And it's a lot out there on social media that's dividing people. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot out there that is fear-mongering. It's a lot out there that has a lot of people on edge. Now, don't get it wrong. There is a lot going on in the world, but let's be real. There's always been a lot going on in the world. We're just more cognitive of it, or we're more aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Because we have social media and it's in our face more. You know, a lot of I saw somewhere, man, it's just so many things I can go with it, but I saw somewhere and it was talking about how kids don't go outside and play as much, and you had a mother in the comment section basically saying that the reason why kids don't go out and play like that is because it's dangerous out here, and she was saying how, kids would get snatched up off their bikes. Bro, let me tell y'all something, man. I remember when I was a kid, bro, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. It was this clown going around handing out poisonous candy to kids, man, And my parents are very protective, very strict. But did my parents tell me I couldn't go outside anymore? No. We had a rule when I was a kid, when the street lights come on, your ass better be in the house or you better be heading to the house. That was the rule. Basically, the street lights indicate it's dark outside, So the way I was raised is you was raised to be cautious and smart out here. You was raised to be aware. You wasn't raised to be in fear. See, how people are being programmed to move, it makes us a joke in a survival setting. A lot of people aren't built for survival, and they're weakening us, by, telling you should be inside more, telling you it's dangerous to be outside, making you scared to go outside, making people live in fear. A lot of people are living in fear now, you know, um, you know, things like 2020 with the whole situation that we had when everybody was isolated, ever since then, it's been something with social interactions. Social interactions are a lot different. We have a lot of these AI driven scenarios on social media that is just coming up with these random scenarios. It's not even real people no more, is what I'm realizing. They will put like these Twitter accounts or whatever behind it, but it's like, whose account is this? Who controls this? What is the person behind this account? See, before on social media, you had actual people perpetuating thoughts, and that will cause a circus, or that will cause the pot to stir. But it'll actually be like, genuine people talking about things, so it felt more real. Social media don't feel real anymore. You go on social media, you have a lot of these AI generated scenarios. Let me give you an example. It'll be like, it'll be from a man's perspective. It'll be like, women say they looking for a good man until they get a good man. Woo off the bam. Like, it's all this men versus women, woman versus men. Men aren't doing this, women aren't doing that. And to be honest, it is a lot of that going on out there, but a lot of it is being, a lot of it is being exaggerated. Are there problems? Absolutely. But like I said, there's always been problems. But now they're making it like, problems is a bad thing. They're making it like things are supposed to be perfect. Things aren't supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to have problems. You have a relationship with people, it's a good chance you will go through conflict with the people that you're around or the people that are connected with that relationship. But see how we used to move back in the day, we would work through our problems. That's how we was programmed. We was programmed to get through things. And if things just got so bad to where, two sides couldn't come to a mutual agreement, then you would just move on at that point, or you would give each other space. Now, people are so quick to just cut somebody off. You would see someone say, I'm done with talking phases. Everybody's just so drained and exhausted with just basic social interactions. People have been so overly stimulated and overly their brain has been rotted with all this nonsense and all this BS, bro, to where it's drained the social battery of the average person. You know, some people naturally their social battery drains quicker than others because you may be empathetic, you may be picking up on a lot of things, you may be observing a lot of things, and it may be draining you in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? But it's like everybody is drained now. Like even people with the social battery and the socialites, they're drained, they're tired, they don't want to go nowhere. You know. And it was just concerning, man. You know, it was just concerning. Like I said, just reading that comment where that mother was like, oh, I don't let my kids go outside and play because, you know, his kids getting snatched up off bikes. Like I said, when I was a kid, you know, it was all type of things going on. You know, people have broken into our home before when we was a kid, all type of stuff. Like the image that I got, you know, when someone broke into my garage, my parents would tell all the kids, go upstairs, go in the room and lock the door and don't come out until we tell you. And when I was a kid, I didn't know what they would do. But now as an adult, I would know. They would tell us to go into the room and they would go get our amendments, you know, our protection, you know, and that's how that would go, you know. But I wasn't raised to just cut and run because it's dangerous out there. We had to adapt to the danger. You know, that's how we was raised. We was raised how to survive the danger. People aren't being raised to be survivors no more. People aren't being raised to be warriors, to be soldiers no more. People are being raised to be weak. And I think it's a reason for that, you know. It's a reason for that. So yes, is there a lot of weird and random stuff going on in this world? Absolutely. But let me tell you, it's an agenda to divide as well. You know, on top of everything that's going on, because a kingdom not unified cannot stand. A kingdom with division will fall. You know, and they know that. They know that the main thing that they have to destroy is the family structure, because the family structure is the only thing that can contest all the bullshit that they're doing. You know, because with strong families create strong cultures, and now you can start breaking through some of the nonsense that's going on. Each one can teach one, and you can build something. You know, your sons will teach his sons and daughters the things that you taught him, and et cetera, et cetera. You can teach your nephew, you can teach your cousins, you know. That's the product of a strong family, a strong environment. There's a lot of people, they don't even rock with their family, bro, and that's sad. You know, it's a lot of people, they can't put certain differences away with their family. There's certain people, they're quick to argue and fight with their family, bro. You know, it's so many people carrying so much anger and bitterness and animosity that just needs to be released. They're just really in their head, and social media fuels into that. Social media fuels into your toxic side, your ego, right? That makes you want to hate everybody, that makes you want to divide from everybody. It's social media, bro. I know it is. It's social media. It's you know, the drugs and all that, bro, that has people, you know, weird now. You know, nobody trusts anybody, you know. And like I said, bro, is there some, you know, credence to all this that's going on? There definitely is, but there's always been, you know, certain issues in the world. My problem is how we aren't being taught to adapt to it and overcome it. We're being taught it's over, just give up, just throw in the towel. And I don't like that spirit, bro. You know, think about this, man. Think about the days of the hunters and warriors, man. Think about how different their spirit is from the people of today. They could have if the hunter and gatherers and the warriors and the gladiators, if they had the mentality of the niggas that we got today, you know, them people died for what they stood for. Niggas out here, they ain't gonna die for what they stand for. We saw what happened with 2020. You know, when we had to all isolate, not many people was gonna stand on business, bro. Once your money is compromised, people ain't standing on business. You know, because we idol worship so much now. It's not like people weren't idol worshiping back then either, but it's so bad now to where people don't have a backbone anymore. You know what I'm saying? People aren't strong enough to go without. Like I said, we don't have that. A lot of people don't have that survival spirit. I got that shit, but a lot of people don't got that survival spirit anymore. You know, it's cool to quit now. It's cool to give up. It's cool to throw in the towel. It's cool to just be like, you know what, it's over. I'm going to just go isolate into my own little corner, away from everybody, away from everything. And everything isn't bad. Everybody isn't bad. You know, everybody's different. See, this is one thing that I've learned and that I'm doing. I got to deal with and accept people for who they are and the differences they have, and adapt to, you know, how they move, so we can be compatible in a certain type of way. You know, because I value the people around me that I love, and I'm not going to let little indifferences that we have make me not talk to them anymore. It's certain people, they don't talk to family because of small indifferences, bro. Because nobody wants to be the bigger man and let bygones be bygones. It's like I said, it's the ego. Ego. It's your ego. That don't want you to be like, you know what, you got it, because everybody wants to be right. Everybody is a narcissist for the most part. Everybody feels like their way is the best, but nobody wants to compromise. That's a part of love. That's a part of family. Sometimes you got to make compromises. Sometimes it isn't about you. But I just wanted to get these thoughts off my chest. Don't feed into this whole division thing that's going on, man. Everywhere you look, they're trying to divide us. Politics trying to divide us. Relationships trying to divide us. Religion trying to divide us. Race trying to divide us. But really what we need to be searching for is what's within. Everybody's looking outside themselves. It tells you in the Bible, look within and you will find peace. Search within and you will find peace. Everybody's searching outside. You're not going to find peace in another woman. My brothers out there, the 80-20 rule. 80% of women only want 20% of men. Let me tell you the solution to that the dating coaches aren't going to tell you. The solution is looking within for that love that you're looking for from that woman. That's the problem with you niggas. You're suckers. You're weak. And it's a generation that was raised on being a sucker. It's cool to be a sucker. That's just their culture. That's just their programming. So when someone like me speaks against these things, these simplest ways, and tells us that, we got to be more of a man out here. We get chastised and we get talked about and all type of things. You guys don't understand how thick my skin has developed over the years dealing with so much criticism just for speaking the truth. It's been a lot that has come with it because a lot of people, live a lie. And I've been able to see through the lies. A lot of people around me don't see through the lies like I see through the lies. So I'm weird to them. I get chastised sometimes, but it's cool. I've learned how to deal with that. I've learned how to deal with people throwing shade, people belittling you, people always trying to intellectually, make you seem like you're dumb or something like that, or make you seem like you don't understand things, But it's okay. I get all that. It's just gaslighting, so it doesn't affect me anymore. I just take it on the chin like a man should, but balls. But, like I said, don't feed into it, man. You have to see through it. You have to search for that inner light within you that beams and that glows and that gives you a purpose and that gives you a reason and that gives you energy to go and to live. Because it is a lot out here that is destroying that will inside of you, that will to work. Like I was saying, bro, imagine if the hunters and gatherers and people of that time, the gladiators, had the spirit of you niggas. You niggas so quick to quit a job. Oh, Richawd, you're a hypocrite. You quit a job. Yeah, I know, but I wasn't quick to quit the job. I was at that job damn near a year before I left. These niggas, they get on the job, one little thing piss them off and they crashing out. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of you niggas weren't built for like those times where you really had to be on business, bro. Like, it's a spiritual thing. That's what I understand, bro. Because it's crazy how them people was living back in them days, the hunters and gatherers. You think about the Wild Wild West, all these times. It was something different pushing them to keep going. It was spiritual. They was more grounded than we are, They were stronger than we are. They were willing to die. See, people are scared to die. People are cowards these days, Back in the day, a lot of motherfuckers weren't scared to die because they believed in God. They believed in spiritual things. They knew after death, things weren't over. A lot of people, they don't believe in God. So they think once it's over, it's over. So they're fearful. A lot of fearful people out here being hunted with dreams, with nightmares, with anxiety because you haven't found that peace within. You're still searching outward. You're still idol worshiping. You're still worshiping these celebrities looking for your peace. You're still comparing yourself to these celebrities looking for your peace when these celebrities aren't even who you think they are. A lot of them, when their contract is up and, I mean, I get into all that, but, let's just say they clone Tyrone, a lot of them, It's not even the same person, bro. You listen to their interviews from back in the day, and you listen to their interviews now. Their cadence is different. Their word choice is different. You know. Oh, they just matured over the years. Yeah, that's what they want you to think. But it seems like all these niggas are maturing into the same AI programmed person. Give the same AI programmed answer. I'm like, damn, what happened to the actual person? That's not the same person that I knew from 10 years ago. That's all I'm saying. Use your imagination. Do some research, you know. But a lot of what you see is fake. A lot of what you see not real. And it's just crazy how so decultured people have come. You know, a lot of people, they go out, they don't even dance anymore. Like, people are losing that soulfulness within them. People are so scared to be judged, you know. But I ain't gonna, damn, 15 minutes. I ain't gonna ramble off too much longer. I just wanted to tell y'all, man, there's an agenda to keep you sad, to keep people divided. To hell with all that, man. Search for your inner peace, right? And that will give you the answers. You will know how to move. Don't search for a dating coach to tell you how to talk to women. It's not that complicated, right? Don't watch all these doomer YouTube channels to find out about how to navigate through the world. All they're doing, misery loves company. All they're doing is pushing their misery on you. Some people may say my videos be doomy sometimes. I just say my videos be real. I always tell y'all something that's real, because the best thing you can hear is the real, you know? So yeah, sometimes it may seem a little doomy. Sometimes it may be a little doomy because it's doomy out here. It's gloomy out here. And depending on what you believe in, it tells you, it prophesies for things to get worse. And all I am is a voice and a vessel and a messenger, you know, documenting how things are getting worse and how we can survive it, because I'm a survivor. It tells me in my book to endure to the end. So I'm not one of these people who's going to be like, it's over, and throw in the towel and just lose hope in everything and people, and don't go outside, and it's too dangerous, and this and this and that. It's always been dangerous, you know. It's always been dangerous. But as people, you know, especially as righteous people, we don't run from danger. You know, did Yahweh Shah run from danger? When the Romans were prosecuting him, did he run? No, he faced them head on, bro. You know, and we as people, we got to face our battles head on. Ducking off and hiding off in your room because you think people are weird, you know, that's only going to make you weird after time, you know. That's only going to make you social. That's only going to diminish your social skills. You know, you go out in public and it's, you know, a lot of people lack social skills. A lot of people lack home training, manners, you know. You hold the door for some people, they may not say thank you. And I don't get offended for them, because when I hold the door for somebody and they don't say thank you, I don't get offended. For the most part, the majority of people will say thank you. But you got that, you know, 10, 15% that, you know, you will hold the door for, and they'll just walk right through and not say anything. And I'll just be like, cool, I didn't hold the door for you for your validation or anything. I just held the door for you because I have manners. You know, my mom taught me, when you're out and you're with a woman, you open the door for her. You know, you let her in first. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. So if I see an old lady, I'm open the door for her. And it don't even got to be a woman. If I see a dude, I'm open the door for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's called being classy. It's called having mannerisms about yourself. Things that people don't have anymore in this soulless society. You know? I ain't going to ramble off too much longer, man. It's my off day. I'm just kind of chilling, man. You know, for some of you guys who have been following my channel, y'all remember when I was down bad and I was like, hey, I'm just trying to cop the PS5 before GTA 6 drops, you know. I finally copped the PS5, so I've been, you know, gaming a lot, you know, so I'm just trying to balance that out. I'll probably go to the gym later on tonight, you know. Just trying to keep myself well-rounded, you know, and focused. Because that's all we can do, bro. Like, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. You got to keep yourself busy. You know, once you start to, you know, dive into that sunken place, which is your phone, it'll have you spiraling, man. It'll have you depressed. It'll have you, you know, scrolling for hours. You look up and you be like, damn, where did the time go? You know, we all do it. We're all addicted to our phones. I'm on my phone right now, you know, so just be cautious of that, bro. Just be cautious of what's going on. You know, not all women are bad. Not all men are bad. You know, to the women out there who are being taught all niggas ain't shit. You know, to the fatherless woman out there who, oh, you guys are funny, but I'm not going to get too deep into that, you know. Because y'all know how it is when a man, you know, speaks the truth about certain things going on. Oh, you're a misogynist. Oh, you must be gay. Oh, you must be this. Oh, you must be that. You know, all the little gaslighting shit they got to do when really you're just telling the truth. But things are so fucked up now, you can't do that. You know, you tell the truth, you're a weirdo, you know. So you just got to have cojones like me and be like, fuck it. I'm going to tell the truth anyway. Whoever has a problem with it, go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. Damn. They're going to demonetize you for this video, Richawd. That type of language is not accepted here. Sorry, YouTube, but I'm out.